안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to a brand new week and on the Culture Wave. I'm Kwon So-ah in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects with a special focus today on K-entertainment, K-literature, K-athletics. And joining me today is our co-host Walter Lee. Hello Walter, happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Soa, and happy Monday to our viewers out there. I am co-host Walter Lee alongside Soa, and I'm going to give you your daily dose of K-enter news, so stick around.
And we're also joined by Arirang's culture correspondent Park Gun-woo. Welcome, Gun-woo.
Hello guys, and hello to our viewers as well. I'm Park Gun-woo, culture correspondent at Arirang News, and I have some interesting news just for you. So again, stay tuned.
So Gun-woo, last time you were here in the studio, you just came back from Kohung as it reported on the Nuri space rocket launch. Right. And last week you were in Busan to cover an anti-doping event. And today you have a very in-depth coverage on that. So tell us more.
That's correct. As you hinted, for a whole week last week, the global sports community has turned its attention to Korea's southern port city, Busan, where the World Conference on Doping in Sport was wrapped up its 5-day program on Friday. And it was a historic moment as it was the first time any Asian city hosted the event, which is held every 6 years. And on closing day, delegates adopted the Busan Declaration, reaffirming a shared commitment to protecting the values of clean and fair competition, strengthening international cooperation, safeguarding the rights of athletes, and ensuring the independence of national anti-doping organizations. The revised regulations and related international standards will be applied from 2027 for 6 years, and this time mainly focusing on protecting the rights of athletes who are minors and anti-doping organizations' independence. And Korea also introduced a proposal to expand the use of digital tools in anti-doping education. One South Korean volleyball legend, Kim Hyun-kyung, spoke at the event emphasizing how actively Korea has been developing and implementing these innovative approaches.
Korea has been working on interactive training instead of passive lectures, a mobile online platform for anytime learning, and a mentoring program with athlete committee members, including myself, to share real on-field experience. For us, education is a key tool to protect athletes and strengthen fair play, an effort the global sports community must pursue together.
And Konu, I heard that there were actually programs related to educating these minors, right?
So the 2025 edition of the event also featured an exchange program with well-known athletes who are working as athlete committee members of anti-doping agencies, including Kim Hyun-kyung herself, legendary archer Ki Bo-bae, and bobsleigh star Won Yoon-jong, as well as international athletes such as Irish para-rower Patrick O'Leary, whom I met at the event. They spent time learning which substances are considered doping and which are not, and many athletes told me how important it is to understand these rules from an early stage.
Learning about clean sport and anti-doping properly from a young age can be crucial for an athlete's future. Through education, athletes gain a clear understanding of clean sport. Athletes can protect themselves and also protect their fellow competitors. That's why this education is so important.
I think it's really important to come together and to revisit the rules and make sure that the rules are keeping up with any developments there are in new drugs or new techniques that need to be monitored and taken. So if you can concentrate the education with the students who are definitely going to be involved in the long term, they'll act as a seed for the good information for the rest of Korea's athletes.
And one junior athlete who participated in the program said he wants even more.
I was able to learn about many different substances, including which ones are prohibited and not. In the future, if I'm prescribed medication at a hospital, I now know I can check it.
Building on its growing popularity among students, the KADA announced it'll work with WADA in Busan City to establish and expand this kind of program to an Asian youth athletes camp as a lasting legacy of the Busan WADA conference.
So as this was a major event, I understand that many renowned figures traveled to Busan besides the renowned athletes that you mentioned. So who were those key figures?
Right, so this event was participated by around 2,000 people, including delegates from around 160 countries, the World Anti-Doping Agency president, and even the IOC president.
The most ideal is to have no doping. right? And we can only do that together if we're working together as one to ensure that each of us plays our roles. And Korea has been a really good partner for the Olympic movement, and most recently in the past few years with hosting the Winter Games. And I'm sure they will continue to be a really solid partner for us and help unify the one team.
You have invested quite heavily in matters of anti-doping. You have spoken out boldly. The genetic make of our athletes may be different, but it is important we share information and see how best we can collaborate so that at the world level we will not be cheated. We have to meet and have a conversation. So the long journey was worth it.
This comes as Korea continues its long-standing contribution to WADA, having been elected to the executive committee for the 5th time and now serving through 2028. Korea has also been supporting developing countries with training and education programs.
Now, Konu, I also heard the enhanced games issue was also a hot topic throughout the whole conference. Is that right?
Right. So, first of all, for those who might not know, the enhanced games are scheduled to take place for the first time in Nevada this coming May. And the event is essentially a sports competition that allows the use of doping substances. Naturally, it became a hot topic at the conference. And WADA officials made it clear that such events not only violate the fundamental ethics of sport, but are also dangerous acts that put athletes' lives at risk, even though the event does not fall directly under WADA's jurisdiction.
I feel like that brings up a whole new discussion that we could cover next time sometime. And thank you very much, Konu, for the thorough reporting.
Thank you, Konu.
My pleasure.
Time now for K-Enter News with Walter Lee. Walter, a Korean actor, has announced his retirement following some allegations regarding his behavior during his youth time. Tell us more.
Yes, that's correct. So actor Cho Jin-woong has decided to retire effective immediately amid controversy over several serious allegations about his actions during his youth. Now, recently, online communities and some media outlets reported details of crimes Cho had allegedly committed as a teenager in the 1990s. These allegations include stealing a car and driving without a license, and in some coverage, possible ties to a sexual assault case. Now, Cho's agency acknowledged that some allegations during his minor years have been confirmed as true. However, regarding some of the more severe allegations, the agency stated that those claims are not true, drawing a clear line. Now, in the middle of this, Cho released an official statement apologizing and stating that he would take responsibility. He went on to announce that he would suspend all acting activities and leave the entertainment industry entirely.
I'm sure if the story continues, we will follow it closely, Walter. But next, let's talk on a lighter note about Stray Kids.
Yes, a lot of news about Stray Kids these days. Now, Stray Kids took home a total of 8 awards. That's 8 awards, I said, including 2 grand prizes at the 10th Anniversary Asia Artist Awards 2025. Now, during Saturday's ceremony in Taiwan, the group won Album of the Year, Singer of the Year, Best Artist, Best K-pop Record, Best Producer, Best Choice, Popularity Award, and Grand Presence of K-pop, securing honors across not just the group, but also units and also solo categories. Now, Stray Kids also recently wrapped up their biggest world tour yet, Stray Kids World Tour Dominate, which spanned 56 shows. Now, they continue to break new ground with historic achievements. Most notably, I also reported on this recently, becoming the first act in the 70-year history of the Billboard 200 to debut at #1 for 8 consecutive albums.
Wow, they are indeed dominating these awards. What a great year for Stray Kids.
It is.
But Walter, it's also been a great year for a girl group.
Yes, it's been a very good year for this girl group. Girl group Cat's Eye have been ranked #2 on the list of the most rapidly rising trending musicians on Google in the US this year. Now, Google cited the group's musical growth and a surge in global search volume as the primary reasons for their rise. Now, their unique sound and stylish concept in particular have generated explosive reactions among Gen Z listeners in the US and across the globe. Now, each time their new performances or live content are released, they go viral on social media and set trends. Now, having established themselves as a team with both musical and visual appeal, Cat's Eye are rapidly expanding their global fan base. Now, industry insiders have noted their exceptional rise for a rookie group and express high expectations for their future activities, so look out for them in 2026.
Exceptional indeed. And thank you very much, Walter, for those updates, and stick around.
Will do.
And now let's turn to our AI anchor Arang for more on the culture front. Arang?
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. The Korea Heritage Services budget for next year has been set at nearly 1.5 trillion won, or a little over $1 billion. That's up about 100 billion won, or more than $68 million from this year. The largest portion will be directed toward the repair and maintenance of national heritage sites, along with policy management and the upkeep of palaces and royal tombs. About 18 billion won, or more than $12 million, will be earmarked to support Busan's hosting of the UNESCO World Heritage Committee meeting in July, while 4.4 billion won, or around $3 million, will be used for AI-based heritage preservation and development projects. Seoul has been ranked the world's 10th most attractive travel destination, according to CNN, citing global data analytics firm Euromonitor International. Seoul placed 10th in the top 100 city destinations index, which assesses cities based on visitor numbers and tourism infrastructure. Seoul climbed into the top 10 this year from 12th place last year. Paris topped the list for the 5th straight year, followed by Madrid. Tokyo came in 3rd, as the highest-ranking city in Asia. Netflix has announced it will buy the film and streaming businesses of Warner Brothers Discovery for $72 billion in a blockbuster deal that could potentially transform the global media industry. The agreement caps a dramatic bidding war that also drew interest from Paramount, Skydance, and Comcast. The acquisition would give Netflix control of one of its chief streaming competitors, HBO Max, as well as Warner Brothers' iconic Hollywood studio and major franchises, including Game of Thrones and Harry Potter. That's all from me. Stay tuned to the Culture Wave.
The Secret of Clay Figurines. Have you ever seen small clay dolls unearthed from ancient tombs of the Three Kingdoms period? These figures are called Tu, discovered in tombs from the Gaya and Sinla kingdoms. They're living records, capturing the rituals and daily lives of people from long ago. From dancers in motion to figures kneeling in prayer, they're small in size, but vividly portray the world of their time. Small in size, but vividly portraying the world of their time. To weren't just ornaments. They symbolized reverence for the dead and embodied spiritual beliefs. Discover Koreans' ancient culture and people, molded from clay, up close at museums nationwide.
Every year, Korea hosts the Overseas Koreans Literary Awards, now in its 27th year. This award connects the voices of Koreans living around the world through literature, discovering outstanding works in 3 categories this year: poetry, short stories, and essays. This contest supports emerging overseas Korean writers and contributes greatly to the global reach of Korean language literature. Today, we meet poet Jai-joon, a winner of this year's event in the poetry section. Welcome, Mr. Choi.
Welcome, Mr. Choi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. So first and foremost, congratulations on winning the 2nd prize of the section, the poetry section.
Right.
So share us your thoughts about this achievement.
Yeah, poetry has always been a way for me to connect to my heritage and my roots. So to have my work recognized with this award is greatly meaningful for me. And also it inspires me to grow, not only as a writer, but also as a person. So for that, I'm really grateful for, to the judges and all those people who read my poems with such care. And above all, I am really grateful, to my families and friends and all my colleagues in Seattle. And they stayed with me through ups and downs of my life and my career. So I express my sincere thanks to them. And thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, congratulations once more. And Mr. Choi, your poem was one of some 1,500 entries I heard. So please introduce your award-winning poem to our viewers and also the message it conveys.
Correct. Yeah, the title of my poem in Korean is 몽돌 해변, and in English it is Pebble Beach. So this poem was inspired by a nursing home where my mother once stayed. And I used the poem, in this poem, the image of pebbles as a metaphor for life. If you look at pebbles, and each and every one of them has distinct colors and shapes and textures and whatnot, just as each of us has a unique, the character, and shaped by joys and happiness and sadness through our daily life. So there is a relationship between the image of pebbles and humanity there. And I expand this single image of pebble into the entire Pebble Beach. So the beach becomes a place where time gently, washes things, and also it's a place where every life can eventually find its place among others. And just as pebbles learn to coexist, in the environment, such as waves and constant frictions, and we human beings can also learn to, exercise compassion and also appreciate each other and embrace, people. So that's the message that I want to carry through the poem. And so the morale of the poem is the language of compassion and healing and acceptance.
It makes a lot of sense to me. In fact, it's quite a deep meaning that I've never thought before, and yet it's opened my mind, and it's very well spoken. Thank you very much, Mr. Choi, for that. But obviously, we want to hear a little bit about your poem, in the poem. So could you tell us some of your favorite, maybe one or two of your favorite lines in Korean, and then maybe translate it into English for us?
Right, thank you. So I have it here. I have 3 stanzas. It's catched from the middle section of my poem. I'll read in Korean first. 이곳엔 이름 대신 깎여나간 부위들이 누워있다. 단단했던 시절을 벗어놓고 빛깔 다른 피부를 서로 어루만진다. 마찰이 부드러운 몸짓이라는 걸 저마다의 언어로 밀려드는 물비늘에 어깨 한 귀퉁이를 내어주며 배운다. 진단도 처방도 없는 곳 해조류와 햇살이 번갈아 들러 찢긴 시간을 꿰매주고 간다. And I translate this into English version as follows. Here in the Pebble Beach, instead of names, there lie the worn-down parts in peace, shedding the roughness of their past. They gently embrace one another, each with a smooth skin of its own. They learn that the friction can be a tender gesture by offering the edge of its shoulder to the shifting scale of the ocean that arrive in their own languages. This is a place with no diagnosis, no prescription, where seaweed and daylight take turns to visit, stitching together the torn fabric of time.
Wow, wonderful.
And I like to carry the message of healing and acceptance here.
I felt like I was already getting healed by listening to the poem, Mr. Choi, and it gives me a whole new vision of pebbles. When I look at pebbles now, I have a totally different emotions.
Yeah, it was beautifully said, Mr. Choi. And while writing this poem, you did talk about compassion, but was there a particular moment or sort of emotion that lingered with you the most while writing this?
As I said earlier, this poem was inspired by nursing home. So the image of nursing home is always present while I was writing. But particularly, when my mother was there and she was sitting by the window and overlooking outside the world, and her gaze was fixed far, far away. At that moment, I felt that, just the gentle and soft tidal wave was passing through her. And it was, sad moment for me, of course, because tidal wave washes her away from us. And yet, strangely, I also felt some relief because I knew that the same wave also take away her pains and aches and bitterness in her memory. So in this mixed emotion, I realized that even in some sad losses, there is also some healing happening at the same time. So I like to convey that the message is through this image.
And it also really shows us how nature is really linked to humans and human lives. And I guess your poem probably speaks a universal language, but yet we wonder, what aspects do you find overseas readers or specifically American readers relate to most or find maybe especially compelling?
Right. I have published some poems at the local Korean media in Seattle area. And over the years, I have noticed that readers, they are more attuned to the themes like migration and identity and belongingness and some conflict that they have through their own environment, through racial issues and so on and so forth. Those themes seem to be more creating some kind of spark that could be, sometimes intriguing yet inviting.
I see.
And is there anything especially challenging about writing poetry in Korean, particularly as an overseas Korean yourself?
Right. There are several challenges actually. Just as staying overseas itself is a challenge because we are living in a different culture. But I think one of the most this is challenging also is something that I really appreciate because the Korean language itself is really scientific and is context rich and multi-layered, and yet it is really context sensitive. So this sensitivity is really delicate because even if you tweak or use a slightly different nuance or word, then that change can, alter the overall, poem in totally different direction. So this is really a challenge yet we have to overcome, and we spend a lot of time to find a just right word that describes my mood, and that's one challenge. And also another challenge is that since we are living in English spoken community, and I have to try very hard to maintain my language skills. I have to be intentional so that my tool, so to speak, can be really sharp. So during my work, I sometimes utilize lunchtime, and in the evening, I try to read the Korean literatures as much as I can. Yeah.
And before we let you go, Mr. Choi, just briefly, are you currently working on a piece of work, a literary work, or what are your future plans?
Yes, I always working on several pieces, and this is the ongoing practice that we observe ourselves and listen to our inner self. So there's always new ideas and new cool things that we always seeking to find through all these practices. And so I get inspiration from a lot of different sources, including the broadcast like this, and through some social issues, as well as mundane things like casual conversation with child, and so on and so forth. So I try to jot them down as much as I can, and that can be a really start for my next piece, and so on and so forth. So I'm currently preparing my first collection for a publication, which consists of all the poems that I have written over the years, and that is a kind of snapshot of my struggle and survival, and also my passion about the life. So I hope I can connect with your viewers in near time.
We hope so too.
Great.
Thank you very much, Mr. Choi, for sharing your story with us today. And it was very inspirational, probably also to many other writers overseas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Choi.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you, Walter. As always, we're going to see you back here tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. Please join us again tomorrow on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Korea time.